Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Treat restaurant servers well. Now, this ain't so much about how to make money, but it's more about thinking about how the money flows out here. Now, I'm using the example of a restaurant server, but it could be anybody that you're tipping, anybody who's doing something for you. Understand something. You treat them well. You tip them well. Like, I'm big on tipping. Like in my previous episode, I mentioned, the guys who came in here, bought my furniture and everything. I tipped them. I tipped them well. I say, yo, man, you gotta get some burgers or something. You gotta get some burgers, get some lunch and everything, my dollar, Yeah, I had to say it like Denzel, my dollar. But here's the thing. One, understand something. Understand something. Some people, that's their job. That's the only way they're gonna really make money. When I take my car to a local car wash, I have a package where they actually doing many details. They cleaning the inside, everything. I always leave a group tip for them. Look, here's the thing. It keeps money flowing. One, this is their job. If they doing that, if anybody's doing a job, that's because they need it. Let me use the restaurant server example. They there because they need it. Because one, they not gonna get $15 an hour or something. They get very little. They living off the tips really. You need to make sure you take care of them. In fact, there's some places they just write the tip in. They just write the tip in. Now, there's still some argument whether to tip somebody when you had to input everything yourself. That's up to you. That's up to you. But when you're talking about service, somebody who's done the job, they taking care of a bunch of people, they bring in your food, they keep making sure you eat well and everything. The better ones are real smiley, get a little friendly. But one, that's their job. But I want y'all to look at it another way too. To me, that's a sense of tithing. That's a sense of tithing. Because the thing is with money, think about how money flows. I don't care what your business is. You got to have people to spend money on it. And, I'm big on savings. I'm very big. I know I'm very big on savings. But if you want more money, you need to put money out there. You need to put money out there. Like me, I always tip extra. I always tip extra. Now, I don't run around buying expensive stuff unless I happen to need it. But when I'm dealing with restaurant servers, I tip them extra unless they just totally bad. And actually, a bad tip for me is 20% still. Because I say, you know what, they still work here, but I probably won't be back. I probably won't be back. In fact, usually when I go to a restaurant, since I might know someone there, I'll say, hey, they working today? Boom, I hook them up. But see, here's the thing. Yeah, you giving that money, but that money comes right back to you. See, understand something about money. You got to keep it flowing. You got to keep it flowing. You got to put money out there to get it back. Because say you don't do that. You don't tip well, you don't spend any extra money, but you in business. At some point, and it might not seem direct, but at some point the people you need to buy your stuff don't have the money. See, that's the whole thing. Even when you talk about a recession, that's the real thing with a recession. The money isn't flowing the same way, And I think a lot of people can't get that one point. Because you get some people, they don't want to pay extra and all of that. They ain't thinking, oh, you'll get the money back. Like I'll use the example of Henry Ford. He actually paid his workers a little bit extra. And people were trying to down him for it, but he was very intelligent about it because he said he pays them extra. He pays them enough to afford his cars. So guess what? He paid them extra. Guess what? They bought his cars. So I try as best as possible to keep money out there. Yeah, I'm still going to save. You still want to do that, and you don't want to be willy-nilly. And like when you treat restaurant servers well, they actually doing something for you. They doing something for you. So, okay, you get a restaurant server, and a really good server can really make a couple hundred a day. A good server. They can make couple of hundred a day. And I think you get some servers, they can make a lot of money. Don't think it's just such a broke thing. If they're good, depending on where they're working as well. Depending on where they're working. If they like at a high-end restaurant and they stay real busy, oh, they can get a whole lot in tips. But what they gonna do with it? Okay, they're gonna pay their bills, buy some clothes, have some fun. They're gonna spend it. They're gonna spend it on something. Okay, they spend it on something, then somebody else gets paid, right? Those people gonna spend it on something. At some point, especially if you're in business, they gonna spend it back on you. You'll see that dollar. That's the whole thing behind the concept of a dollar circulating. Because it's not going to just stop with that one person. You want it to go to the next person, next person, next person. Then as long as that's money going out, you're going to get something back. Now, the only thing I say with that is ideally, well, not even ideally, you just want to live this way. You want more money to come in that comes out, but you still got to send some out. Okay? Or let me say that properly. You want more money to come into you than goes out. I say comes out. Goes out. You want that to happen. And that's important for you to make money. You got to keep money circulating. And it might seem small, but every little bit helps. You got to have that mindset. Now, that gets in a little into some metaphysics or spirituality or something. But once you tithe that money, you put that money out there, then you creating more money to come back to you. And one of the most basic ways I do it, not just paying for the food at that restaurant, because a lot of that goes to more food, but paying those tips, paying for good service, helping them to pay for stuff, and then whoever they paying for some other stuff. At some point, that's coming back to me. At some point, one way or the other. And so you need to think that way. So you need to treat them well. You need to tip them well, because that's the most important thing. You want as many people, in fact, you want as many people out here making money. Even, you don't have to be a millionaire, but making money, because eventually you're going to get that back. See, a major issue is if people aren't working. If they ain't working, they're not bringing in money. And you got a whole lot of people out there like, let me put it like this. That whole thing about the unemployment rate, it's not totally accurate. Only thing they can track are people who get some type of unemployment insurance or something. But there's many people who phase out of that. They're not getting anything. They're not making any money. When you got all these people, and even on a deeper level, they're not in homes, they're not bringing in any money, that can come back to you at some point. That can come back to you. So as best as possible, you want to keep some money out there. As best as possible. You want to keep more. You don't want to put in you want to still live within your means, of course. But you can still have a savings, investments, and everything, and still put money out there. Indeed, that was kind of what some people would think billionaires would do, but I actually read a statement from a billionaire. They were like, there's only so much money we can spend, but it's the same thing. So you treat them well, take care of them, that money comes back to you. That's more of a spiritual thing, but just understand that. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.